I don't remember how long this song is, but I like it. It actually was made about, this was like last summer, maybe? Dogecoiner made this for me. Arno. I'm looking up right now. If I get his tag right. Arno Hack, I think his name is. H-A-C-H. So he made that and he was like, hey, here's this. It'd be cool to have intro music. Or I asked him to do it and then he made it. And I thought he said it was kind of a work in progress, but just this week he said, oh no, it's supposed to be, it's done. So, yeah, welcome back to another week, Saturday morning underground. I'm going to see how this goes. I got my coffee. This is kind of my thing. You know, I was thinking about, I've been listening to a lot of, there's one show I listen to, a podcast that pretty consistently, sometimes I'll go on binges and then sometimes I don't. And it's called True Crime Garage. And they do like a beer of the week and they have a beer fund and everything. And so I was thinking about doing like a coffee fund. Maybe you tell me some different coffees you drink. So I'm not a super coffee snob. This is called Peet's Coffee, Peeet, and it's Major Dickinson's blend. So if you got one you like, let me know. Maybe I'll try it. I do the grind and everything. I'm not a super snob, but I do prefer kind of fresh ground. I guess they call me a snob, I guess, right? So yeah, it's January 14th. We have had a pretty interesting week. I mean, I felt like for about 2 months we had not a lot going on in the whole crypto world. And to see, I mean, obviously the price action this last week or two for Litecoin's been pretty good. And I've think that's been, who knows? I've given up on trying to figure out the charts. You know, I've been at this, I bought, gosh, it's almost going on 7 years ago. It's hard to even believe it's been that long. I have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure it was February 2016. It might have been later in 2016, actually, now I think about it. But I'll look and find out when my first purchase was. But I started going down the rabbit hole around that time. It was election season for Trump and like Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. And so I think what happens over time is the markets just get almost exhausting where you're like, I don't even, like right now you get skeptical of everything. Bitcoin just went up like yesterday, like what, 20% or something. I mean, that was the biggest just out of the blue jump I think I've ever seen. And you just kind of expect that it's coming back. Like it always comes back. Yeah, it runs up, but it always comes back. And same thing when it goes down, it always comes back up. And it's just this long game. And if you try to get caught up in these short-term fluctuations, it's just like it's an emotional roller coaster, So I will pull that up. I gotta say, I've avoided, if you guys listen to my show on Wednesday nights on Twitter, I don't like, I don't know. I don't like to talk about price because I think for a long time I've kind of I figured price was like this thing that if you focus on it, it distracts from the other things. And I do have to accept, like, this is a reality. This is part of why, this is a big part of why people are here. I would say 90%, I go on Twitter and it's almost just a barrage of talking about the price. And I just get exhausted from it. I just think like we're missing the bigger point. It's like what, if you watch football for a number of years and people want to talk about a football game and they only discuss, oh man, did you see how fast so-and-so is? Or, I don't know, I guess there's just more nuance, right, to the game of football, right? There's understanding, when a team is being aggressive on defense and when they get, if their defensive coordinator is making bad calls or if their offensive line is missing blocks, like there's critical things that happen in a game that are sometimes don't come down to necessarily individual performances. And so I kind of feel the same thing about price. It's like it's this thing, man. It's just this thing that is a distraction. but I also understand it's a very real part of things. So I'm going to try to do this a little differently. So yeah, here's me showing you some charts, which is pretty unusual. So I've been using this chart lately. Oh, by the way, just because I don't talk about price doesn't mean I don't pay attention to it. I just still look at it like way too freaking much, like all of us. I'm a human being, right? Cheers to that. If you're not looking at the price, you're evolved. But I guess I've let myself get a little less excited about the day to day. So I actually have a few coins on Bittrex, and they actually have a nice charting system. But probably a lot of people would laugh at me for that, right? Like it's, I don't know, a sin. Somebody's got TradingView and they have all their lines drawn. I don't have any lines. I use these tools that are on here. I only got a couple of them I even look at. And what I've been looking at is the Bollinger Bands. If you don't know, John Bollinger was at the Litecoin Summit. I don't think he was allowed to, or he didn't let them record the presentation. That dude was smart. I was very happy to be there. He has a very interesting method, and if I was a trader, I would have written it all down and shared it with you. But essentially, there was a way of reading the Bollinger Bands and that was pretty dang predictable, or at least there were times when you would know big moves were coming. But I don't have that information for you, so I apologize for that. And by the way, if you're on any of these platforms, I'm on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I've never used my Twitch account. I don't even know if it's operational, but I linked this StreamYard up to it. And so if you have Twitch, go see if it's there, if you don't mind. I know there's only a few of you watching right now, but if you could do that and just comment. I'm here on my own trying to keep the conversation moving. More comments, the better. I can play off you guys a little bit. All right, so let's see. Can I full screen this? Probably not. Wait, I can. Holy crap. Dang. All right. So this is the 3-day Bollinger Bands. And, the USD price is one thing. I know it's where a lot of people get focused. And maybe over time, again, the ratio is what a lot of us talk about, the Bitcoin ratio, because there's only so much you can do with these. Like the market still reacts to Bitcoin very strongly, very strongly. And oh, hey, Jose, good morning. Jose, I just called you Joseph, or do you want to go by Joe? You name it. What kind of coffee do you drink, man? Magnani, you must have drink Italian coffee. You probably drink, what is it? Espresso? Is that what you guys have? I don't even know. All right. So, where was I? Oh, so what I like to look at, and I shouldn't have even put this in the stupid full screen because I'm not going to be able to get out of it. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to lose I'm going to not be able to get out of this. Here we go. Okay. So a lot of us that have been doing this for a while, we do the Bitcoin chart, right? Which, today wasn't great, but I was actually watching this one fairly closely for the last few months, I would say. It has been, let's see, since the end of October, this band has been pretty good, right? It gets, apparently the way these things work, right? As the volatility increases, these widen. And then, here, let's go back to full screen. And there's this kind of center line, which it was kind of riding right along. It would bounce off. We've dipped below it today. Again, I think this is maybe more due to Bitcoin's its volatility. I can't explain what happened yesterday, last 2 days in Bitcoin. It was dead and it just exploded. So we dipped below this red line, but we're still in this band, kind of this rising band and tightening up. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have any lines. I just look at this stuff and say that's positive momentum. I mentioned on Twitter this week that this was the longest uptrend in the history of Litecoin versus Bitcoin. which I think is really interesting. So if we look back, this chart probably doesn't go back to the very beginnings. Whoa, that was day one. So it does go way back. Okay. I don't know what that was all about. So obviously we started really high, a lot of anticipation. This is way back in 14, right? When they first launched, I guess, on Bittrex. I don't even know when Litecoin first started trading. So dip down here. We've had these upswings, right? We're here in May of 15 all the way to July. This was a 2-month mountainous climb and then long descents. We had a little curve here, went up maybe a month. And then again, this one here in March of 17 swings up only for 2 months, and then it's down. Although, I guess we could consider that maybe continuous uptrend here to July, where lows got higher, highs got higher. But there's these dramatic swings, right? Boom, down, then up again. But these are only, a couple months at a time. This one was probably the best one. This was the last halving, right? So December of 18 up to April of 19, which I believe was the last halving. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look back at what the date was, but I want to say it was somewhere in February of 19, possibly. So you can see that we have these big surges. This was before COVID, actually. We were starting to see a good run up, and then longer descents, another run up, longer descent. So when we come up here, this actually, although it doesn't look dramatic, this has been realistically, I'm gonna get nitpicky here. We were down. I mean, this was obviously the bottom, but since this date in June, we've seen this slow ascent. And you see this red line that is the center of this Bollinger Band. It's been generally trending down, but this has been a slow upswing for the last over 6 months. Well, this is here. It started right here, let's say June 18th of 2022. So we're almost 7 months later. I find that pretty interesting, and something I'm been paying attention to. I'm going to kind of go through this. Hold on. I've got some notes I'm trying to follow here. By the way, I'm really bad at intros. I recognize that. I started coming on. I do this on the underground too, on the Wednesday spaces. I just dive right in. I don't know why. I need to learn to slow down. Say good morning. Say the date. How are you doing? Talk about the coffee. I don't do that. Oh, by the way, and see, there's another thing I missed. We're supposed to, at 10 and 45 minutes here, have from the Dogecoin community. What's his name? Slick Rick. Yeah. So I hope this works out. He was kind of taken aback. Oh, wait, I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I? Hang on a second. So they have a podcast called The Real Shibs. I don't know. I'll ask him how to pronounce it. But he's the only one make it. I may end up having the three of them. I think there's three of them in the future. I may even try to go on their show. It's like this animated they do a podcast and they animate it on YouTube. It's kind of entertaining. They talked a little bit about Litecoin, and I just reached out and thought, hey, why don't we try and do something together? So we'll see today. He seemed a little bit apprehensive. I think he thought at first it was just going to be a Twitter Spaces, and so being live, maybe he'll be a little anxious about it. I don't know, but I don't know. I went on kind of a rant on Wednesday about Dogecoin, and I would say I've gotten some consistent pushback. Not a lot. I mean, it hasn't been bad. It's gotten better. Acceptance of Doge has gotten way better in the last year for like inside our community, and I think inside Litecoin in general. And I think that's a good thing because Litecoin and Dogecoin are just inextricably linked here. We are going to be merge mining for the foreseeable future. So if it's beneficial for them, the Dogecoin community, and we can reach out and kind of bridge this gap of what is, what are we striving for, and we can kind of be positive towards another community, and they can we mutually benefit. And I got no reason to denigrate them, and they got no reason to denigrate us. So let's just do it that way. Like we can kind of set an example of what hopefully this community becomes at some point in time, where, if you're an ETH owner and you like doing your NFTs and DAOs and DeFi, then good. I think they're going to build some really cool stuff, and maybe in 5 years they'll have a bunch of things that we really enjoy using. But if they don't today, it's no skin off my back. I mean, it's the same as if somebody's into toy trains or something, right? Like, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I got no problem with it. Yeah, I equated it to toy trains. Oh man, here we go. I already got a bot chatting on. Okay. So my first Twitch comment is somebody offering me promotions. So hang on a minute. I'm gonna have to change my comment policy probably. Well, we'll see. Hopefully I don't get too overwhelmed with spam. But if I do, you'd have to subscribe to actually comment. And if you're on Twitter, go to YouTube. Like, you can actually interact. I understand Twitter's easier. Maybe you're just watching. There's more Twitter viewers than YouTube viewers right now. Maybe that'll be helpful. Okay, so where was I? Oh, I was talking about Doge. So yeah, we got Doge is not harmful to Litecoin in any way, shape, or form. So the better that community is, the more accepted they feel, the better it is for us, the better it is for that community. And I think they have I've mentioned this on Wednesday, they have an energy in that community. They have a vibe, I'll call it, that is positive, and it's more than just the coin. It's more than just the price. Yes. Do they want Doge to go to $1? Of course. Do we want Litecoin to go to $1,000? Yes. But their community is more than just rooted in the coin. And I think that's a very cool thing. Like, they're building a culture. Now, I'm sure when the price is up, that culture's better. And I probably give it, I'm not in it very much. It's like when you know someone from a distance, like, they're really cool and the times you hang out with them, but the people that hang out with them all the time are like, yeah, they're not that cool. But maybe that's what I'm thinking of. All right. So that guy's coming on at 10. And all right. So like I said, I'm bad at intros. There's my choppy intro. I want to go back to, this is what I want to talk about. So I showed you the price chart here. Hang on a minute. And we saw the Bitcoin action. And something I found interesting this week was, this is kind of weird seeing me in duplicate here. Oh yeah, you know what? I take that back. Here's what I'm going to go into. I'm going to talk about Galaxy. I'm going to pull up some things that I like, that if you are new here and aren't following me from Twitter, if you found me on YouTube, if you watch this in the future, I guess this will be kind of like, what's going on with Litecoin? Why are we Litecoiners? What do we find exciting about Litecoin? Hang on a second. And what are some good things going on? So I have this, I guess, little deck of things that I think are important to look at. I bring up this BitPay thing all the time. This has been some of the most interesting news to me since, since like the PayPal, which I'll show you in a little bit. So this is the transaction activity. What coin are people choosing to use on BitPay? Now, BitPay is one of the bigger payment processors. I think the biggest payment processor in cryptocurrency for retail. Now, I think they do more than retail. They do some gift cards, which I guess you can call retail. And let me show you. Oh, hey, Randy. Good morning, Randy. Are you Randy? That's that's a tough name. there's a couple Randys in the Litecoin community. So, all right. So as you can see, this is going back, but Litecoin, this was when it got really exciting. So Litecoin got launched on BitPay in July of 2021. If you've heard this before, you know this, but pretty quickly jumped to number 2 and has consistently held that spot. You know, that's what I thought, Randy. That's what I thought. Okay, so Litecoin, you can see, has been 25% in September 24, October 25 again, up to 27% in November. I don't know my months, and 25 again in December. And the good thing is, I mean, you know, Bitcoin has dropped a bit, but I think this is really important. We always talk about Litecoin as the payments coin, right? It's the preferred method. And I'm going to show you a few things I think are really evidence that this coin is being, you know, if we want to call it the people's coin, I've sometimes called it blue collar crypto. But these things all point in the same direction. So this tells you that there is all this activity going on. You've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 15 coins, right? Many of them have almost no activity at all. USDP, which I'm guessing is some sort of stable coin, probably PAX, Gemini dollar, ApeCoin, Wrapped Bitcoin, which actually surprises me, to be honest with you. Because if Wrapped Bitcoin, like on a Matic or something, if you had no fees, you would think that's what people would be using. Or some people, at least. SHIB, 0.15% of transactions are Shiba Inu. DAI, another stable coin, 0.36 XRP, which supposedly is going to be the currency of the world, according to some people, is less than 0.5%. Binance Dollar, Matic, BCH, only 2.63%. USDC, 5.85, which maybe makes sense because I think BitPay is in US and Europe, by the way, which is another key. Something else I've can hit on. And then Doge, our friends Doge, merge mined with Litecoin. Pretty cool, right? Oh, adding to BitPay statistics. Oh, talks with noise. It says he's adding to BitPay stats. I'm assuming he means he's using BitPay. I'll be honest with you, I have not used BitPay. I put a little bit of money on there, and I just wanted to check it out, check out the platform. I liked that I could put money on and not have KYC. So it just was like a wallet. I don't know if I have to do it as far as if I buy certain things, do I have to KYC? Can I buy gift cards without it? If you do want to buy gift cards without having to, just like in a cryptographic way, keep things private, use it like digital cash, BitRefill, CakePay, and maybe BitPay. So if somebody's a BitPay user and you can comment, let me know. Do you have to actually track that? All right. Hang on a second. What did I say? Track that. KYC that. That's what I meant. So Doge, ETH still 11.5%. That actually surprised me. I know ETH's really popular, but the fees on ETH are pretty high. The one thing I don't know in BitPay, I don't think they have a swap option. And that would be pretty cool, actually, if you had kind of the ability to say, well, I own ETH, but can I just move it into another coin that's cheaper to use at the point of checkout? Would people do that? I mean, right now fees aren't too bad, but might be something to consider in the future. Then there's Litecoin at 25% and Bitcoin 41%. So if we really kind of zoom out, you're looking at 41, 25. I'm going to do quick math with the percentage, 57, 68, 70. So 80% roughly. Let's say 85%. I'll even include, I'm going to include BCH. So about 90% of transactions include those first 6 coins. And of that 90%, what's 25 divided by 90? You guys know that number? Same as 5 divided. I don't know. It's like a 30% of that. I guess you just subtract 10%, add 10%, I guess. So yeah, 20, a good chunk of those transactions, 3 out of 10 are Litecoin. The majority are those top 4. And Doge, you include Doge, 35% of transactions are coming from Dogecoin and Litecoin combined. I think that's really important. So people are using these when they want to spend money. And I'm a big proponent of spend and replace. Because if you don't use the coins, like here's my big spiel for you Litecoiners and Dogecoiners. And I think you guys get it. If this number, like if I'm BitPay and I offer you to, I can't freeze this frame, unfortunately. But if I bother listing ApeCoin and 0.04% of my transactions are in ApeCoin, then maybe there's a reason they have ApeCoin on there. I don't know. That means 4 out of what? 4% is 4 out of 100. 4 out of 10,000 transactions are ApeCoin. That's pretty damn low. And if I'm another platform and I want to start adding coins, I'm going to go around the world and I'm going to look at like, well, what do people use, right? I might come to BitPay. Oh, here's some statistics. Well, why would I bother adding ApeCoin if the ape community doesn't even spend their coins? Which I know it's probably a bad example, but even so, wrapped Bitcoin, is that worth it? Like you might think without looking at it, without like digging into the numbers, you might think, well, wrapped Bitcoin's a number, whatever, 20 coin. It merges Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's probably got a decent community, but this shows you that community doesn't care about spending the coins. So if I'm a payments processor, then why would I bother? And so I think that's really important. And, you know, I've went on the BCH podcast. I have no problem with BCH. Those people, I wish them all the best in the world. But I would look at this as a payment processor and say, is Matic really worth it? Is BCH really worth it? Do I want to spend money marketing to a community that doesn't even seem to care? They don't seem to want to spend their money. I'm not saying that's the truth. I know BCHers, they are about on chain, and I understand that. And I got no like I big proponent of that. I wish we had more of that in Litecoin. But I'm just telling you what a business is going to look at. And so they're going to say, like, what do these numbers look like? God dang it. And what are you going to add? If I'm doing a stable coin, am I going to add USDC, BUSD, DAI, GUSD? I mean, they have 5 stable coins, of which USDC is the only one that has any reasonable amount of usage. So I'd go, okay, I'll put USDC on there. And then I'll put Doge, Litecoin, ETH, and Bitcoin. What that handles 90% of it. I've handled 90% of the audience, and I only have to target market to 4 coins. I don't have to target 20,000 coins. So this is how, you know, I'm just giving you how businesses think, right? So this is to me was one of the biggest, I guess, like really, I don't know what to call it, light bulb, or just very excited. I get more excited about this than I do the price. You know what I'm saying? Because this tells me this community, Litecoin, is going out and using the coins the way they are intended, and that this community is bigger than what the market cap shows us. Because by these statistics, you wouldn't think Ethereum users were, what's Ethereum worth? Like a gazillion times what Litecoin is right now? I don't even know. It might be 100. What's the market cap of Ethereum? I have no idea. I could look it up. But whatever. They're 50 times more valuable, that market cap. You would think they'd be spending more money or spending more transactions, and that these people would be in the green and they would be all excited about it. But no, Litecoiners who are sitting here, I showed you the chart. We sometimes feel like we're grinding to the bottom times. We go out and we spend it, you know? And real quick, Talks with Noise in the comments. He says, my only fear is the disastrous tax system to deal with when using crypto as intended. Gains tax on cash needs rework. Yeah, you know, I mean, I use the Litecoin Visa card, which I'll show you guys in a second. I kind of feel like it's a strength in numbers thing with this. I would say most of my transactions are probably in the red, you know, where I could gain taxes. And if we want to go down that road, it's like, are we really going to dig into all this? Oh, I got to send something out real quick. Hang on. I forgot I have to invite this guy who's coming to the thing. You know what I'm saying? Hang on one second. Should I do this? I'm wondering if I should go like, if I do like, hold on. Not either way. All right. But yeah, so maybe maybe I shouldn't even publicly admit I don't have a lot of fear of that, because if you're consistently moving the coins now, if you have significant coins that are maybe they're old, maybe you bought them at $4 and you're like, man, this could be a big deal if I'm going to go buy a car. Obviously stuff like that report. If you're going to buy a candy bar, whatever, at a pop at the carryout's $3, your gains, you're only taxed on your gains. So let's say you bought it $50 and it's now $90. You spend $3, your gain was $1.25, and you're going to pay 30% of that. So it's like 30 cents in taxes maybe to pay on that transaction. I don't know. To me, like I equated it to this. If this is something you care about, if you believe in cryptocurrencies, if you think like, hey, this is an important tool, and going back to this, let me go back to my BitPay statistics. And you think that it matters that Litecoin is included, and you believe in this coin, or it's Dogecoin, or whatever coin it is you believe in. When people go to church, they give 10% of their money to a cause they believe in every single week. If you're worried about 30 cents that I filled up my gas tank, I might have to pay $1.50 in taxes. Now, it's hard to track. I understand that part of it. That might be the thing you're most concerned about. But you can get a readout. You can, put the work in. If it's something you genuinely care about, it's a pain. But like, is it really that much of a pain when you think about what you're trying to achieve here? You're trying to bring adoption, mass adoption of replacing this money system. And the only way to do that is, again, strengthen numbers, make these companies see that we want to use these. If Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doge are at zero and it's all centralized stable coins, then what that shows these companies is like, well, why don't I just use the dollar? If that's all these people want to spend is the dollar, then so be it. So I think you really have to be willing to kind of, in this like really, really light way, kind of throw yourself out there and say, look, I'm willing to go jump through whatever hoops I have to jump through because this matters to me. So, okay, that's my long rant on BitPay. Another big thing that I show people that I think is really important is this BRD wallet. Because this is all around this thesis that people want to spend these coins. That Litecoin is the payments coin, the coin of the people. I gotta hang on a second here. What the hell? Okay, so this came out. If you guys don't know what BRD wallet was at one point Bread Wallet. Ooh, that's big. And they got bought, actually very shortly after this announcement, they were bought by Coinbase. And I don't know if they even operate as Coinbase. I have all these articles about things that I don't even still use. But I don't know if BRD still operates independently. I don't think it does. But I thought this was a really interesting thing. So BRD Wallet for years existed and did not accept Litecoin. Like it was like one of the very few coins it would have. And there's still, like I was on Stripe last week. I was checking out Stripe, this new payments thing. They have all these coins, but they don't have Litecoin. They got Dogecoin. They've got like, Chainlink and something else, but they don't have Litecoin. So there's still some people out there that we've got to continue to show them. And I think that'd be a good campaign, actually. There may be Stripe might have a bug up its butt about Litecoin. I don't know. But if we maybe as the community start messaging and showing these statistics of why people want this. So, okay, BRD Wallet adds Litecoin as ideal cryptocurrency for payments, right? As wallet users surpass 10 million. So there's 10 million BRD wallet users, which actually that number shocks me. This was back in October 2021, 15 months ago. So it's a wallet. Now, again, this has been bought by Coinbase, so I'm not sure what this means yet, but actually, I'm going to check right now. So it was first wallet supported by BitPay and Verifone, exposing crypto payments to Verifone's 46 million POS terminals, and they've added Litecoin, offering what the company views as the oldest and most reliable crypto for payments to its users. So it talks a little bit about this, exponential growth, blah, 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 blah. This is a press release, obviously, from these guys. So Adam Trademan, which maybe we should try to find this guy, see if I can get him on an interview or something. We continue to see an increase in transacting users in India, Africa, and Latin America as people are using BRD for actual payments, whether it be as compensation for remote workers or paying for goods and services. That's why we're excited to add Litecoin. Charlie says, hey, it's a big step forward to be supported. We want to be the mission as the go-to for fast and inexpensive payments. Blah. I'm going to blah, blah, blah Charlie on this. What I want to show you, come on, I should have scrubbed this before and known where I was going, but I know there's a highlight in here I want to show you. Where is this art? Oh, it's not even in here. Dang it. This isn't the one. I just assumed. Crap. Well, anyway, so in one of these press releases, it says that while people use, man, I'm going to find this. This makes me nuts. I have this link in my Twitter. I'm going to find it here. Hold on. So, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work. Never mind. Just never mind. But anyway, they have an article, and I might look again, because they had an article where it says that while Bitcoin is a store of value for our customers, the preferred method of payment is Litecoin, preferred in Latin America and Africa. And I thought that was really cool. Maybe I can find it here. Man, now I feel like a fool. I just assumed that was the article. I assumed there was a press release. I'm actually going to look up BRD Wallet and see if they even still have there's even a wallet still. No, server's down. Okay, well, now it must be. Does it still work? Coinbase acquired it. Well, anyway, I'm going to share that on my Twitter. Dang it, messed that up. But anyway, I have it on my phone. I could show you on my phone. Here's what I'll do. Let me find it. This is a live stream. Give me some comments. Give me something to talk about, guys. Because this, I think, is an important point. And I like to be accurate. I don't want anybody to think I'm full of crap. You know what I'm saying? So let me go through. I just have the highlighted shot. Anyway, what do you guys drink in the mornings? Everybody else drink coffee? Any tea drinkers come in here? I drink tea in the afternoon sometimes. Because if I drink coffee past like noon, I can't. You know what? Forget it. I'm just going to forget it. It's not going to happen. Anyway, I'll find it. It's on my Twitter somewhere. All right. So the last thing I wanted to show, these are just the exciting things. I'm going exciting things about Litecoin last year as we wait for this Doge to come in. So MoneyGram announced Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. You can store it and trade it. I wonder if you can send in and out. I'm assuming you can. You can receive it. Again, I've not used MoneyGram. I did look them up, and I looked at like if you're going to send dollars to another country. I just did like a fake transaction on their site, and it was like it was like 4.5% in fee, or in like you lose that in the ratio, the currency exchange. Plus, if I used a credit card, it was another 3%. So you could pay anywhere from 6 to 8% if you wanted to send somebody money in another country, as opposed to now you can use Litecoin and pay less than a penny. So this was an exciting announcement. They have a partnership, with CoinMe, which is the people doing the Walmart, the Coinstar stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I've talked to them. I'd like to get them on the show too. And then here, PayPal has only picked 4 coins, as we know that you can use to actually hold on your PayPal wallet. I've used PayPal to buy. I have not done the hold and sell, so that might be another thing to try to transact. I got to set up where I can show you guys my phone screen, like plug in, you know what I'm saying? All right. And then Litecoin Visa card. I was going to go through all this stuff. So, all right, we got Dogecoin coming on in the next, let's see, 17 minutes. Let's see if he seems to be, I'm messing up. If he's going to be on the way. I might take a quick break here because I got to refill my coffee. And, Joseph's doing the Litecoin push-up challenge. This is something that I think Master started, right? Whatever the price of Litecoin is, you do that many push-ups in a day. This was probably fun when it was 60. It's starting to get a little painful, right? We're at, let me see where we're at today. So yeah, I got to do 88. I guess it feels good, but I had not done that and I need to get in shape. So maybe I'll start that. Starting, today, 88, I can do that pretty easily, right? Joseph, do you do those like in one? You don't do it in one go, do you? Because when I was in college, I did ROTC for a couple years. And I think I could get to, they had like a 2-minute push-up, like their physical training test, PT test. And I'm trying to remember, push-ups were my jam. I still like doing push-ups. I want to say I did like 90 in 2 minutes. And then, or that might have been sit-ups. It was definitely, I do pretty good. But running, I hated running. I'm only like 5'9" if I'm on a good day and some shoes. And I got little short legs. I don't like running. It wears me out. So, all right, I'm going to take a quick break and listen to Arno's music again. See if I can do this. Hold on. And I'll be back. And hopefully we'll have the Dogecoin guy soon. And I'm going to have some fresh coffee. So. All right. Back with my second cup of coffee. I've talked about coffee too much. I think that's kind of a weird thing, by the way. When people get like really obsessed with a product or something, like they have posters, without my coffee, I can't start my day. Like, it's very weird. It's just a weird thing. But here I am talking about coffee. It's like the weather. You know what I mean? It's something to talk about. It's kind of inane conversation. So, okay. About 10 minutes, or hopefully we'll have our Doge guy come on. I'm a little bit unsure. Like it was funny because I announced that I was like, oh, well, tomorrow morning you want to come on at 10 o'clock? He's like, yeah, sure. And then I put the announcement up on Twitter. Hey, we'll be on YouTube tomorrow. And he's like, wait a minute, I thought this was only Spaces. So hopefully he doesn't get cold feet. And he's got a couple guys. Let's look at their page, even if they don't show up here. The Real Shibs, I think it's called. Real Shibs. I'm going to play a couple of his videos. Because they had one about, I think they had shorts. And they had one about the merge mining. Uh-oh, maybe not. Anyway, you can check these guys out. They're like me. They've only got a few subscribers. But you can see they do an audio podcast. And then they animate it. And, I want to support this stuff. It's a bit of a challenge when you create videos and they're like 100 people watch them. You're like, God, is it really worthwhile? I've kind of resigned myself to the fact, like, I'm happy to entertain this small community. You know what I'm saying? All right. So check these guys out. I know they had a clip on Twitter. Let me look them up again. Is this boring as hell when you just watch me searching the internet? Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Oh, yeah, Joseph, by the way, 30. So, but you do like 30, you take a breather, 30, take another breather. Or you like, hey, in the morning I do 30. At lunch, next to my desk, I do 30. And then at night, I just finish them off. Because as far as push-ups, like, I used to be good, man. I've just gotten old, man. It just gets harder and harder. Anybody will tell you that. All right, so let's try these. Real Shibs. Look, see, they even got dogebroadcast.com. Good for them. Let me see. See what if you guys have, I'm sure you're all on Twitter. Most of you guys probably found me from Twitter. One of the things that I don't like about maybe you guys can help me. If you can help me, tell me. So on the phone, if I go to somebody's account, so let's say I'm like the other day, I was looking up Tone Vase because I was on a thing about him. And then you pull up his profile and then you search from his profile. I search Litecoin and it'll pull up from everything he's mentioned about Litecoin ever. So it searches his profile specifically for his tweets and his replies. But if I go on here and I pull these guys up and I just search, it's going to give me the main thing. Look at that. I just searched for John Kim. I don't know if you saw that last night, the PayPal announcement. That was funny. So if I look up Litecoin here, it's just going to search Litecoin. If I do it on my phone, it actually, maybe I can do a trick here. Ready? We're going to do this because there is a way to format your search. So if I say from Real Sheebs, so you got to know what people's tags are and everything. See if that works. What? I know they talked about it. They had a video about merge mining. What? Doge? Is this working? It will work. Okay, so it does work. So yeah, you can take anybody's profile. So I could type in like, let's see what Charlie Lee. He's what Cobley, right? No, that's his old thing. What am I talking about? Talk about brain fart. Satoshi Light. So you can see Here's everything Charlie's ever said about Doge. I mean, this thing goes back years, right? Look at he's Dogecoin in April 24. Look at him, man. Good for Charlie. And that's just something that changed. That's just something that changed with Charlie. He put in his banner not long ago. This was maybe like 8 months ago. For the first time, he kind of gave a little tip of the hat here. Obviously, he's been looking out for Doge for a while. So I'm hoping that when Slick Rick here comes in from the Real Sheeps, we can talk a little bit about the merge mining, talk about what's going on with Doge and everything. So, all right. He's like 6 minutes away. Let's talk about let's talk about the Litecoin card real quick. Well, I don't need to do an advertisement for this. Let's go into inflation. This would be a good thing to start with. So, where are my inflation numbers? So this was a big thing that came up this week. Came up this week. It comes up every week. I was at the store last night. Orange juice was like $3.50 for a carton of orange juice, which was 52 ounces. Carton orange juice was 64 ounces my whole life. So we're getting, what is that? More than 20%, 52. This is about 20% less, 0.8. Yeah, just 19% less orange juice you're getting. So at $3.50 a carton, oh man, my math, 350 divided by 52 times 64, that'd be the equivalent of paying $4.30 for that carton. If they would just keep it the carton. I don't know why they don't just keep it the carton. It's a pain in the ass. Now I got to go back and buy more. For them, it's more packaging. Just leave it the same. Be honest with us. You're going to end up getting like a vial of orange juice for $3.50. I prefer the 64. It fits in all the things. They design refrigerators to like hold a real carton of orange juice and a real gallon of milk. So they don't change the gallons though. All right. So Consumer Price Index, January 12th, a couple days ago, they came out with it. And there's also going to be some changes coming up. All items increased 6.5%. It was the smallest since October 2021. So we've seen all higher than this. The all items, less food and energy, rose 5.7. The energy index increased 7.3. And the food index increased 10.4% over last year. Inflation is the worst. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger here, if you don't mind. Hope you guys can see a little. Oh, yeah. Oh, God damn. Oh, too much. Wait. Nah, too much. All right. Wait. Too much. All right. Here we go. So, all items, which this is one of the interesting things. I would like to actually look at the calculations, and I'll see if I can find that here. But possibly, if I have time, before the Dogecoin guy comes in. So, food, 10.5%. Food at home, 11.8%. 11.8%. Your most basic necessity, probably outside of air and water, is your food. And cooking at home costs you 12% more than it did a year ago, in 1 year. So that orange juice, really, that entire shrinkflation of 64% to 50, or 64 ounces to 52 ounces, comes in 1 year. That's pretty jarring. Imagine if they just did that across the board. Instead of raising prices ever, they just kept shrinking packages. They never touched the price. And so your can of soup got to be down to like a shot glass instead of a can of soup. And they just never changed prices, anything. It's like, oh, it's still only a nickel, but you only get this. But that's a pretty shocking number, right? So 1% in June, 1.3% in July, 0.7, 0.7, 0.4. And the crazy thing is, like, we've all seen like the big items, beef. We know eggs right now. Everyone's the joke right now is eggs are like ridiculous. It's $3.50 a dozen. Before COVID, eggs were I remember them being like 59 cents a dozen and being like, how the hell, how is that possible that they can be so cheap? And now I'm in the other thing, right? And I've seen in like California, other parts of the country, it's $8 a dozen, which is a little hard for me to believe how it can be that different. Maybe there's a business here. Actually, there is. All right, check it out. If you're in California and you're paying $3.50 a dozen, I don't know how I could pull this arbitrage off. I can get you eggs, bro. I can get you eggs at $3.50 a dozen. I don't know if they're going to show up uncracked. I don't know if they'll still be good after being shipped over the course of a day or so, but I can get you some eggs and get you eggs. All right, so energy, 7 point all over the place on energy. A big part of this is fuel oil, actually, right? I've never used fuel oil. My in-laws used fuel oil for heat, and man, that's brutal. That's a brutal number. If you're basic heating your home, which a lot of rural people use, they'll use either big propane tanks or they use fuel oil, fuel their homes. 40% increase to heat your home. That's just an astronomical number. So that's really the big driver in energy. Oh, except for, I'm sorry, those are the commodities themselves, the energy services. So your electricity's up 15%. Gas, 20%. I mean, that's a jarring number. And I'm not really sure, I understand food. One of the things that, I work in manufacturing and I've been kind of in distribution and all that. And so a lot of times with the cost of materials, freight is a big factor. So when gasoline is up or you have a shortage of drivers, there's just a really high cost to bring in those drivers. Let me see if this guy's even responded yet. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I don't think he had a definite time yet. So where was I? What was I doing? What am I doing? Damn it. And by the way, this is if we believe these numbers. But in distribution, manufacturing, you have the cost of the driver, and you have your actual physical labor, the people who have to show up every day. That cost has gone up a lot, right? We've seen just in my area, I live in Ohio, and so cost of living in Ohio is pretty reasonable compared to most parts of the country. Houses are still achievable for a middle-class family, and wages aren't that bad, but just general manufacturing has gone probably from like dirt cheap general labor, a guy that just no skills whatsoever might make 10 or 12 bucks an hour a few years ago, is now making $18 to $20. So that cost has gone way up. The ability to get people has been really difficult for manufacturers to even find people to work at all, which is really strange. I think it's the biggest mystery you'd say. It's like, where did these people go? It's like after COVID, there was obviously some people died, but it was almost like the unemployed just decided to stop even trying to work. And how are they surviving? So people don't really know. But that cost, that makes sense. So food, you're paying the guy to pack the box, an extra, 50% increase in his cost. His insurance costs went up, to actually give him medical insurance. It costs the driver costs more. Those things I get, physical things. But electricity, yes, you have employees, but it doesn't cost more to get the electricity to your home than it did. Natural gas, it's a pipeline, right? So it's not like there's this extra friction that got added because of COVID. So it's really surprising to see this. And obviously these are commodities, right? Energy production is a commodity. So there's probably something related to if it's, oil-based, the cost of oil in general might have a lot to do with natural gas, actually getting the supplies. There might be demand around the world for it that we don't understand, which I think may have something to do with the whole pipeline, all that jazz. Oh, what's up, Handy Stoic? Good morning. Handy Stoic, are you I've seen you on Twitter. Are you like a Litecoin dabbler? I can't remember. I can't remember if you're an XMR guy or a Bitcoin guy. Anyway, cheers. Good morning. Shit. Hang on a second. Literally just knocked my mouse off the floor or off the desk. Actually, I want to show you guys this mouse. This is a very weird mouse. If you're curious, are you curious what I use as my mouse? But I would get these like my elbow and shit. My wrist would hurt. And so I bought this like upright mouse. I think it's pretty damn cool, to be honest with you. Let me put it back together. But you do have incidents like that where you swing your arm, you forget you have it. And you're like, knock it off the table. But this is the weirdest looking mouse ever, right? But I'll tell you, I really have gotten used to it. I like it. So it's, it operates upright. So you don't have to have your arm twisted. All right. I have officially gone off the rails here. All right. So, here, Handy Stoic into Litecoin, January 2021. Well, I guess you picked a pretty good time. You got out of Bitcoin in 2020. Like, did you abandon Bitcoin completely? And when in 2020? Don't tell me you sold in March of 2020 or something. I wish we had real-time chat. But all right, I don't know if this Dogecoin guy's coming in now. Starting to wonder. Okay. Where was I here? He hasn't responded yet. So let's go into, I don't know. I thought this was interesting. All items less food and energy. So of course, food and energy, like the two things that, again, you have to rely on for basically everything you do. So everything else was up about 6%. New vehicles were up 6%. Used cars are down. I mean, is that really like, what's funny? Another thing about this thing is they talk about, the cost of gas is down. Yeah, here 1.5%. What percentage of your budget is gas? I'm fortunate enough now. I mean, working from home, but I still travel a decent amount. But even at the highest, it was, if I'm driving for work, I'm getting reimbursed. So if you have a long commute every day, I guess it could make a big difference. In and out of Bitcoin. Oh, okay. Well, then you picked a good time to pick back up Handy Stoic. Sorry, if you're not on YouTube, I'm reading comments from YouTube. So that's why you should come on YouTube. I think YouTube would be more fun if we all went on YouTube. But all right. So Handy Stoic did make the right decision. In and out at 2015. Oh man. All right. Well, either way, you're back, and that's good. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, gas is not. I mean, it's one of those things you can kind of ration. You can decide, like, well, I need a little bit less. The things you can't really do much about. You got to eat a certain amount of food, right? Electricity. You can turn the lights off. Smart idea. As you get to be a dad, you get older, you become the dad again. Like I've gone through. Have you guys done this? Where you go, that light fixture has 4 light bulbs in it. That one has 4. This one has 3. And you start, the kids leave them on or whatever. Even you leave them on yourself. And you're just like, I'm going to get up and go turn those off. That's 11 lights. I've never done the math, but it's really not a significant amount of money. But anyway, so to me, those are like inconsequential things. Car prices, again, like maybe I'm out of the game. It doesn't matter to me that much. I have a used car that I bought 4 years ago. I haven't had a car payment in a long time, so maybe I'm lucky in that sense. I'm glad to see used cars are down because maybe my kid's gonna be driving in a couple years. So if a good deal comes along, I'd love to see that plummet, to be honest with you. Buy used cars, dude. Unless you're feeling really good about your finances. 4 or 5 years old with like 50,000 miles on it. You're going to get 50,000 miles out of it, and it's going to cost you a third of what you're paying for a new car. Clothes, I can live without clothes. Shelter, yeah, probably important. So here, let's look at the things that people need. Shelter, 7.5%. Energy, 7.3%. But really, let's not I'm not really worried about energy commodities. I'm worried about what actually gets piped into my home, right? 14% that went up. And food at home, 12%. So just those three, 12, 14, natural gas for heat. That's for me because I'm the only one that matters here. I'm not a fuel oil guy. 19, 14, and we could, you could balance these out based on how much you use. 19, 14, 12, and what was the other one I said? Shelter, 7.5. 19, 14, 12. Now 7.5, that's probably your biggest expense is your rent or whatever. But yeah, you're talking 12%. So if you made $100,000 last year, you just lost 12 grand. That's basically what happened. $12,000 removed from your wallet. Like, I know it sounds dramatic, but it's the absolute truth. You can buy 12,000. So after taxes, so if you made $100,000, I'm doing this for math for you 100,000 guys. What do you pay in taxes? 20, let's say federal plus state and local, you're probably paying 30%. Plus you got a sales tax. Plus you got whatever taxes get decided to be added on to everything all the time. The gas tax. Now you're basically paying a tax of another 12%. So you're up in the 45% range. I mean, you can actually purchase things a year ago, or this year you can purchase things that are about $60,000 worth of things that were worth back in 2022. Or is this? Yeah, 2022. Where are we now? But this is another site I want to show you guys real quick. I think this is kind of cool. I appreciate you guys hanging around. Like, literally, this amazes me. You guys want to listen to me talk, but this is a cool thing to look up, the Chapwood Index. So these guys have basically collected data on unadjusted actual cost and price fluctuation of the top 500 items on which Americans spend their after-tax dollars in the 50 largest cities in the nation. So these guys, it's just a nonprofit, and I can go into what they have for the problems and kind of who they are, but they're trying to just show you, oh, here, look, this even tells you the items. This is great. A glass of beer. Nice. I haven't been drinking for a week, you can tell. Okay, so these are the things that they actually track. Health insurance, measuring cups, okay, a tennis racket, okay, a DVD movie. What is this? I mean, that's like the set. Who buys tennis rackets? Tennis rackets are a big part. No, I think they're just trying to get an overall trend. A Redbox rental movie. God, they did start this in 2004. When was this started? That's so funny. Amusement park, a Subway Italian sub. So they're very specific about the items. And the other thing I wonder that they do is they say, like, here, popcorn. What's the measure? Is it like a popcorn at the movie theater, I'm guessing, something like that, or maybe microwave popcorn? I wonder if they keep track of the cost, like the size, like we talked about. So like if orange juice is on here, are they tracking 64 ounces of orange juice? I'm going to guess they do. Yeah, school supplies, calculator. Like, this is good. I like this. I get to know what it is. Or if I go to this CPI thing, right, this won't even tell me. I guarantee there's no information on what they actually use. Let's check. Oh, they do motor vehicle insurance. Oh my God. So they say, because the thing they do is they change all the time. Sorry. By category, all items. Wait a minute. No. That's not going to be it. Let's see what this is. I don't think this is going to be it. This is going to give me the index of all items and region. Okay. So it doesn't actually tell you what the items are, which is really kind of stupid, right? It's just so typical. So typical of the governments. So anyway, if you're buying a high chair, school photos, skate rentals. I mean, this is like literally across the board, the most mundane things that a family might buy. And this gives you by city. what these are. So this gives you a little more depth of what if I live in New York City. This is the last 5 years or whatever, 13%. Holy shit. Look at just 21 and 22. Last half of 21 to the first half of 22, almost 20% increase in cost of those things across the board in New York City. New York City. So here you go. For the year of 2022, 15.5%. So the government just told you 6.1%, and these guys don't change anything, and they give you 15.5%. This is what I will say that I don't know that these guys do. I don't know that they weight these things. And I think that's probably the hardest thing, because your personal inflation is going to be way different than mine, right? If you pay rent in New York City, your cost of rent went up, who knows, maybe 20%. I have a mortgage. My cost of living has not changed at all. Another reason home ownership's a good thing, right? I haven't bought a car in a few, I right after COVID hit, I went out and my wife needed a car, and I was like, we're getting a car now, because I knew shit was going to get real when they started handing out money. So we went and got a car back then. Okay, great. But so that doesn't affect me at all. I haven't rented a DVD. I haven't bought a DVD movie. So some of those items that they have aren't going to affect you. That's why this is a little bit hard to track. And the only way to really know your own inflation is to like track your personal expenses. But just to look at like what we're talking about, Chicago, Fresno, 15. Let's go to the bottom of these. Minneapolis, Detroit. Detroit's pretty close to me. I consider myself Detroit adjacent. Still 10% on all these items. So I don't know if you can click on any of these. Let's see. Where are you guys from? Anybody from a big city? Well, you don't need to tell me. I don't care. Point being, these are pretty big numbers across the board. So if you live in New York City, over the course of the last 5 years, 13% a year, I mean, you're having to make twice as much money, roughly, to live the same lifestyle you lived 5 years ago. Is it that dramatic? All right. Goddamn. Getting on my calculator. Hold on. Times. Oh my gosh, I'm a nerd. But this is what I do. This is why I nerd out on things. So 1.126. You guys can tell me what you think the answer is. Holy shit. I guess I could have done this differently. Wow. So the cost, if I take, so 2015 cost of something was $100. It's now $212. So it's more than doubled. Holy crap, man. So this says the average is 13.45. So let's just do it that way times. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, $213. Holy crap, man. That's a ridiculous number, actually. That's actually jarring. It's more than doubled. The cost of living is more than doubled in 7 years. And that's across the board on all these, even at 10%, you're, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So after 7 years, your cost of living doubles at 10% inflation. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So the best thing to do is learn to consume less. Don't take on too many costs. Let's see, talks with noise. What I don't understand is how products produced in a slightly different location are exported at a national price, but workers pay from 2 different locations can nearly double. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's like somebody who lives in New York makes twice as much as living in Ohio, and yet the cost of that product, you think, is a national price? I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if I would agree with that. Like you're talking like if there's a flat price. You mean something like a car? I don't know the delay on these comments. So I think he's saying, yeah, if let's say you have 2 manufacturing facilities and one of them you're paying your employees $12 an hour, another one you're paying them $20 an hour, how is the cost of the product the same at the end? I don't know. I'm guessing there's just kind of an aggregation of all labor costs, and they look at it as one huge bucket, right? I kind of, people. The worst thing I've seen is when people try to blame inflation on these companies. Do I think some of them are taking advantage of these prices? I do. I think there's some, hey, now's some time to make, hey, prices are up. Our costs haven't gone up, but let's raise our prices because we can. That definitely exists. Doesn't look like this Dogecoin guy's coming in. Damn Dogecoiners. Unreliable. Typical Dogecoiners. Where was I? Okay. So, since I'm preaching to the choir, as far as Litecoin, I won't dive into a bunch more Litecoin stuff. Oh, here's something I want to kind of put out there. So Talks with Noise, he's in the comments. Go follow him on Twitter, unless he doesn't want people to follow him on Twitter. He's been doing some shorts, trying to pull some information, pull some stuff out of these live streams and maybe even the Twitter spaces to make them a little more palatable than these long drawn out things. So yeah, check him out. What's your thing? What's your thing here? Talks with Noise. I'll find you. Yeah, just at Talks with Noise. And you have a YouTube channel too, I believe. I don't know if you want me to show your YouTube channel, but I don't know. The guy's putting in some work helping me out, putting in some hours. So hoping that works out well. But damn it, I lost my train of thought. I forgot I was going to tell you. Oh, so here's what I need. If anybody's watching, maybe you can clip this out, Talks with Noise, and make this a new video. If you want to be on these like consistently, I would like to have a co-host. I don't know who. Maybe we can test it out. People just say, hey, I'd like to try. And we come on and you come on and do a show, do a whole episode with me. Bring up ideas. Like I want to make this more of a less of a me talking all the time, because this gets boring. I got to imagine this is extremely boring to watch after a while. I want to have some conversation. If you want to be a guest, one of the things I'm trying to get on here, even though I'm not a I own a little bit of Digibyte. I have people come in Twitter spaces all the time and talk about Digibyte. And the other day I was trying to figure out here, this Digi ID stuff. Like I'm interested in it. So I'm trying to get a Digibyte guy to come in and actually walk through how Digibyte works. Tell me the different things about it. And on the show, I'll sign up for a Digi ID. I'll use one of their assets. I'll buy an NFT or something. So if you have a product you want to talk about and actually display and take the time to go through, I'll do it on here. I'm talking to the Lightverse guys. I think we're going to try and have them come in and actually go through buying an actual NFT. How does it work? What wallets can I use? Where can I store it? All this stuff. Because I think a lot of it gets to be very gray. I want to learn about Lightning Network more. Come dazzle me with all the technology, but I want to see it really work. I don't want to just talk about it, because talk is it's just talk, Who else is out there that might come in? These Caker Labs guys have been they've been, responsive, but everybody's busy, so it's hard to get everybody in the same thing. But this is something new that's coming to Litecoin. I'm not sure. It's going to be like more about tickets and some NFTs. Interesting. I don't know. And frankly, I don't want to judge until I know. And if you got some sort of stupid altcoin you want to bring on, then let's do it. I just want to learn. I want this to be a place that you can come, talk about a product, but I'm not going to just let you just run the show. I'm going to give you a genuine opinion of what I think. Okay. So co-hosts, products. Third thing, if you make music or someone who makes music independently, like they're not on a record label. They don't, they can actually give me permission to play their music on the air or on this thing. I want to I'll have it play in the background. I'll give you an honest music review. I think that'd be kind of fun. and I listen to everything. I listen to bluegrass. I listen to like industrial metal. I listen to rock, and I'm okay. Like I'll give you an honest critique. I'm not gonna. It might not be my cup of tea, but I'll give you an honest critique, and you get to play your music for whoever is on here. What else? Yeah. So yeah, if you want to be on, let me know. And as you can see, it's a good environment to do it. It's not a huge audience as of yet, so we'll see. Don't think Doge is coming in as of now. All right. So let's I think that might I don't know that I got a ton else. Let me look at my topics here. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. All right, I'm going to give you a quick thing about yeah, actually I do have some good things to talk about. Amazingly, after an hour and a half, I still have stuff to talk about. So this is something I was thinking about this last week. We often combat the maximalists, right? The guys that believe Bitcoin will be the only asset. Hyper Bitcoinization, that people around the world will all operate on the Bitcoin standard, and there will be no other forms of money. And I started to kind of play this out in my mind, like, can that be realistic? And what I thought about is one of the economic principles and one of the functions of money is a coincidence of wants. So if you go read like the Bitcoin Standard, their own Bible, right? Which Bitcoin Standard, by the way, was a lot of that information was taken from Nick Szabo, which I have. This is how much of a. Oh, well, I thought I had it. Oh, it's over there. I have all his kind of history of money. It's a very good read. That's basically Bitcoin Standard, is just Nick Szabo's stuff, a big chunk of it. And one of the principles is coincidence of wants. One of the problems that money solves is that you have to have, if I'm bartering with you and I have chickens and you have a car, but you don't want chickens and I don't want a car, then we're going to have a hard time trading. So it's one of the purposes of money. And I thought about that with, if you get to the point where, let's say Bitcoin becomes very difficult to obtain, because that's one of the kind of messages that seems to be proliferating through Bitcoin is like, well, there's going to be 8 billion people and there's only going to be a 0.0025 Bitcoin per person over the course of the next, whatever, 30 years. And you're going to get to, it's like almost like you'll be a king and they'll have to work for you type of thing. But if it becomes unreasonable, meaning you only get a Satoshi or 100 Satoshis to shovel someone's driveway, then they're going to be like, well, I would much rather have a quarter of a Litecoin or something, right? Whatever that ratio is going to be, people will bypass your system. They won't just accept your terms for everything. And the coincidence of wants parts comes in is like, what if you have a business and somebody wants to buy something from you, but they go, look, I don't have any Bitcoin, but I have Litecoin or I have Dogecoin. There will be a certain level of assets that you'll go, okay, well, I have a business. I have to do something. I have to function as a business. And if my only customers ever can be people that hold Bitcoin, then I'm not going to have any customers. And so they'll gravitate towards the things that make sense. And they're going to use all forms of money, whatever is easiest to obtain, has the least friction. And maybe you believe that's always going to be Bitcoin. Obviously I don't believe that. That's why I'm here. People always have desires, and some of them just out of spite will just be like, look, I'm not going to operate on your system. And the only time you've had a quote unquote standard money is when governments declared that to be so. Like even when you had a gold standard, people used other forms of money. And the reason that these countries operated on gold is because it was international trade. So yeah, maybe Bitcoin is going to be the gold standard, but that doesn't mean anything. I found something interesting this week. So let's go through that. Hang on. Sorry, guys. So I was in CoinMarketCap, and you can look at this yourself. And this is, I talked about earlier, blue collar crypto, or the people's coin. I'm having a connection issue here. Hang on a second. I have some evidence that I think this is actually real for both Litecoin, and I know I keep talking about Dogecoin, and even like a bit Monero, right? That these coins have a use case that is viable for people around the world. And one of the things that really shocked me in 2020 and particularly early 2021 was the kind of wild price increases we were seeing in some coins that we didn't see in, some of what we'd call like the old standards, like your Litecoin, your Bitcoin Cash, your Monero, your Doge we didn't see. But you wonder, like, where is that coming from? Like, why did Bitcoin explode in price? And I kind of think there's this VC pile of money, venture capital money that poured in. And this week I was actually looking for ways to kind of categorize different cryptos. I was just kind of curious how these worked, and I didn't even know this existed. So I thought this was interesting. So hang on, let's go back through this. So in CoinMarketCap, you can go right here above your, let me make this a little bigger. Right above your list, you can go into categories. So you can go like, I just want to look at DeFi, or I just want to look at NFT or Metaverse or Solana coins or whatever. But you can go to categories. Under categories, there's play to earn. What is Void? Look at Void. I almost want to look at this. This coin is up a gazillion %. Like, how's that even possible? What is that? Did it launch today? What? All right, we're looking at this just because I'm curious. What? What in the world is this? So the price went from 1 with 500 zeros. Am I having internet issues? Have you guys lost me? I don't know what's going on here. To 1 with less than oh my gosh. Void, go to the moon. Gosh. Anyway, where does this even exist? On Solana? Radium or Void? I don't even know. All right, never mind. But anyway, in these categories, you can look up, if you search by market cap, there might be a better way to actually create this. But if you descend by market cap, what pops up is all these portfolios, these venture capital portfolios. And what I found interesting about these is they all own Bitcoin. They all own Ethereum. And none of them own Litecoin. Zero. It's a jar. And I believe none of them own Dogecoin. Some of them own Monero. A few of them have a Monero holding, which is interesting. Like these, I can't tell you why. I don't know why that is, but what it tells me is that a lot of money poured in to buy those two particular assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the price support we're seeing for Litecoin isn't because it's not from these entities. And I think that's actually, again, a very exciting thing. So you blend this with the BitPay statistics where it's showing people actually are using Litecoin as a currency. That BRD wallet announcement in Latin America, in Africa, people are using this as a payments coin. That's a really exciting statistic. But you blend that with the fact that have we faded against Bitcoin? Yes. But we're seeing organic use of the coin. And you're seeing here, this will show you that price is happening without any financial support from the venture capital world, which in my opinion is great because that's the old world. And if our success comes because Mike Novogratz decides that he's going to flip on Litecoin and go buy X million amount, it's just a pump and dump at that point. And so this would really worry me. So let's take now keep in mind this market cap thing. I think this is just a market cap of the blend of assets in the portfolio. I don't know that we know the value of how much these companies are keeping. But you can see there's tons of them. Names you'll recognize. So Huobi is Justin Sun, right? The Tron guy. He runs that exchange. Framework Ventures, the Winklevoss guys. Alameda Research, which, as we know all about them. Multicoin, I think, is one of those kind of scammers. Pantera Capital, A16Z, Three Arrows, Coinbase, Blockchain. I mean, there's tons of them, right? Names you'll recognize. DCG, Galaxy. Yeah, I can't. So then you get into the actual ecosystem. So, okay. So we're talking 20 different portfolios. And it's interesting. This has the highest market cap. It could be even that it just owns more assets than anybody else. So this guy, whoever this Arrington XRP Capital portfolio, they own XRP. So you can see they got some Terra Classic, Immutable X, just a bunch of random ass coins. And I think that's why their number is higher. It's because they have more coins in it. But more than anything, you want to see what are the actual assets we're talking about. So what are some names? So Huobi, which I'm going to guess since it's Justin's son, he's probably going to have some Tron in here, I would imagine. No, maybe not. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Terra Classic, the Theta Network, right? Stacks. We've seen some of these. A lot of them own this Oasis. I don't know what Oasis is, but a lot of them own it. Artificial Liquid Intelligence. That's one that pops up a lot. Framework Ventures. Don't know who they are. Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? A lot of coins down here. So the reason I'm showing you this is mostly to show you what you're not seeing. You don't see Litecoin. You don't see Dogecoin. Filecoin pops up in a lot of them. A lot of them, I think, got in the initial coin offering of Filecoin, which, as you guys know, went from I think the ICO was like $5. It went all the way to $220, and it's down back. It got all the way down $2 something. Zcash, again, Oasis Network. Tezos, I think, is in some of them. I don't know a lot about Tezos, but interesting thing about Tezos, if you guys remember when Coinbase started adding all these different assets, literally in late 2020, they started doing a whole lot of different coins. And it was always Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin was what was listed. And then suddenly Tezos jumped above that. Solana jumped above it. AVAX jumped above Litecoin. So they started reorganizing which coins they actually highlighted in their app, which I think is a little suspicious. Sus, as the kids say, a little bit sus. Whoever, Paradigm. Who's Paradigm? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cosmos. So here are the coins that that these VC capitalists who are basically funneling their money from the big banks. Oh, look at little Monero, some Zcash again, Oasis again. I don't know what Oasis is. We should look into it. Bitcoin, Ethereum. So here you go. This is just here, Multicoin. I think they're kind of a shit show, if I remember. But Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, a little Thorchain, Nervos. That one pops up a lot. So yeah, just gives you an idea. A16Z, weren't they kind of instrumental in the Luna thing? Maybe not. Filecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So now you kind of get an idea of where I'm coming from. This is, to me, it's a really interesting fact that these people aren't buying Litecoin. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they don't feel like they can manipulate it. But also you can't manipulate Bitcoin. I don't know if maybe it's just they feel like I have to have Bitcoin and Ethereum in my portfolio in order to kind of show some legitimacy. And then I'm just going to buy a bunch of other ICOs and gamble. That could be it. So that would be the type of thing that would add some value to the price, but ultimately I don't think matters. I think it speaks more of a testament of what Litecoin's created than just this speculative asset. So, all right. I think that's what I got. What was it? One other thing I wanted to cover. I think I had one other thing. Oh. All right. Let's show you this. And then I'm done. Digital Currency Group. Don't know if you know much about them, but they're an interesting company. So, if you don't know, they own the whole grayscale thing. The LTCN is an asset that essentially is you're holding Litecoin, but you're not. It's like paper Litecoin. These guys, I just want to show you because they're in a lot of debt, apparently. They're having some issues. I just want to show you how critical they are to this space. And by critical, I mean, like they're not, like Litecoin will survive without them, right? But just show you how involved they are, how entrenched they are in so much of this industry. Because I think it's really important people understand that when you read an article from because I believe they own CoinDesk, right? Or CoinDesk is a subsidiary. Is it CoinDesk? Yeah. When you read a CoinDesk article, be aware the people that own them own all these companies. When you read something on Coinbase, now Coinbase, they're heavily invested in Coinbase. Coinbase is obviously a public company, but you're not going to get a lot of honest opinions from people that have a vested interest in protecting other businesses. So you're not going to see, maybe CoinDesk will be a little favorable to Chainalysis because they have common owners. You get what I'm saying? So just to go down this list, I mean, this was like, it's almost unbelievable to read how much they're invested, right? So you got Abra. I've used Abra before. It's a fine wallet, but Digital Currency Group is backing Abra. How much? Again, we don't know. That's the hard part. You don't know. Do they have a 10% stake in Abra? Do they own it outright? I don't know. What were some of the highlights on here? Mingo, BitGo, sorry, BitPay. They own a little bit of BitPay. Blockchain, which is a leading blockchain.com. Actually, I don't even know what that one is. Blockstream. We could all talk about Blockstream. Maybe I need to have a Blockstream. I'm starting to kind of go down this road of the Tether, Bitfinex, Blockstream. There's something going on that I don't trust about that whole thing. There's a lot of money that's flowed in. I think there might be some scammy stuff going on. And I want to get in somebody who's like a conspiracy theorist. I want to hear their theory and see some of their evidence. So that's one thing I want to do eventually. So Blockstream, we know all about them. Brave, which is actually cool. I like that one. But Chainalysis, the people tracking transactions. Circle, another one that's related to USDC, the stablecoin. Coinbase, CoinDesk, CoinMe, who we just talked about, does the change exchange inside of Walmart. So like, okay, what I just talked about, right? CoinMe, Coinbase, CoinHouse. That's an interesting one. So Coinbase, CoinMe, and that BRD wallet. So BRD wallet was bought by Coinbase, and they had a partnership with CoinMe at the time. So they're all kind of linked, right? Hey, what's up, Hunter Smith? Shout out. You showed up late, man. You're not going to get a lot out of this. I'm about to be done. I originally thought I could do 3 hours. I think I could do 3 hours if I had other people, but just by myself, I feel like I'm going to bore the absolute shit out of everybody. Decentraland, the Earn, that's just running into problems. I think that's that Earn from Gemini, maybe. Elliptic is another kind of tracking software company similar to Chainalysis. Etherscan, eToro, which we know them. Flare Network. Another thing, Flare Network. Did anybody, if you're watching this on Twitter or anywhere, comment if you redeemed your Flare tokens and how you did it. I don't even know if I could just check my wallet if they're going to be in there, like where my cold storage is. I don't think so. I don't know if I have to apply. I don't know anything about Flare Network, but I know you could get Flare tokens if you're a Litecoin holder, I believe, but it might be too late. I'm not sure. I wanted to find out. Somebody was talking about it, and I could never get information on what was happening. Genesis, Grayscale, this header Hashgraph, Horizon Labs. So there's just so many different companies. Kraken, Ledger, Lightning Network, Lolly, that if you haven't, I mean, you can tell they're basically they have their fingers in every single thing you can believe of. One of them was there was one that was like a mining network as well. It's called Forge, I think. Let me check the Forge. Oh, dang it. Foundry mining, which they don't show here. So I think Foundry is a big pool, if I'm not mistaken. All right. I don't know if there's anything super exciting. I had in this list, I have it typed out, the exciting ones. Paxos, does a stablecoin, Kraken, Ledger, Lightning, Lolly, Ripple, RSK, another smart contracts platform, Shapeshift, Silvergate Bank, which another, in my opinion, a lot of the industry revolves around Silvergate Bank and dang, what's the other one? Oh man, there's like two major. Oh, Prime Trust and Silvergate are like the two main banks for the crypto industry. And then they buy Zcash as well. So, all right, I don't know. I'm rambling. Doge let me down today. Typical Doge. All right. So if you got things you want to talk about, I know there's only a few of you, but if you watch this at another time, comment, let me know what topics you want me to cover. If there's people you want to come in, let me know. I'm an open book, and I'm happy to have the conversation with anybody, even if it's something that might be kind of scammy. I also want to do like the anatomy of a scam, or maybe like what I would do if I research a coin, and I want to say like, what do I look at when I want to understand like what does a coin do? I'm not a chart guy, as I've told you. I more think about like fundamentally, what value does that coin bring? Does it do something that currently isn't available to customers? Is it replicating an existing business? Where's the demand? And that probably, makes me a bit of a boring investor. If I sat here and I said like, well, here, that Oasis network we just talked about, what is that? Right? What are they trying to do? Who holds it? What was the ICO? Who's buying it? Because I've kind of, I don't want to be this purist. One thing that I think has happened in Bitcoin is like, it's becoming like a competition for who can be the most cult-like. And so you've got this one-upsmanship going on where people are like, well, I only buy proof of work coins. The next guy's like, oh, you buy all proof of work coins? Well, I buy only Bitcoin. Oh, you buy only Bitcoin, but you also own a house? Well, I sold everything and bought Bitcoin. The next guy goes, well, I don't even talk to people who don't buy Bitcoin. Like, if you don't like Bitcoin, get out of my life. And it becomes this extreme thing. And it's just a very weird cultural thing that I don't want to be trapped by. I have my Litecoin. I believe in Litecoin long term. I will be a holder for the rest of my life. But to say that there aren't opportunities to try different things and to learn from like the NFT stuff, or maybe like we talk about Digibyte. Maybe Digibyte's a cool thing that I want to use as a tool, or maybe I'll buy a little bit of Digibyte. Doesn't mean I'm sacrificing my belief in Litecoin. And I think there's going to be opportunities out there that it might be kind of fun to pick, like we could do like Shitcoin Weekly, where everybody says, look, we're just going to throw $25 and see what happens with it, because there might be some out there like you just saw where you go, there was an ICO recently. Oh, damn. Let me look it up. I'm going to look it up on my I should do this on my own time. Well, you know what the heck? I haven't bought an ICO ever in my life. I'm gonna do this again. Wait, can you guys see my screen? Oh no, here we go. Okay. So something else you can learn here. If you go to products on CoinMarketCap, the ICO calendar, there was one. Man, I wish I could look backwards. Yeah. I thought about this one. I looked at this one. I liked it. Hang on. There was one that I was like kicking myself. Hooked right here. I talked to my buddy about it. I can't believe I'm talking about shitcoins on here. And it was like a nickel, man. And I was like, that one looks kind of cool. It's going to be on Binance. And bro, this thing went like 30x. And you start going, well, what the heck? Why? If I can make that kind of money, why not? And if I'm aware that it's a bit of a gamble, here, so it literally the ICO was like 15 cents. Like day one, it was $3. I was like, oh man, I'm an idiot. Let's see. That was one I looked at but didn't buy because I screwed up. Let's look at the other one I looked at but didn't buy. This hang on. And if you got some shit coins you're interested in. Oh, Hunter, anyone know anything about Theta? Theta had a massive run. I know that Blind Dave, if you look up, I think it's Blind Dave on Twitter. I think it was there's Theta and there's Theta Fuel. I don't know what the differences are in those two and how they interact. But I think he did well. Again, he's a guy I go, okay, he's a Litecoiner, Bitcoiner. He believes in these things, but he also says, you know what, let's learn about some other stuff. And if I can go out and make a bunch of money and turn it into Litecoin, well, then good for me, right? And let's just be aware. These are risks. These are not things that we would put a lot of money in, but maybe just for fun. Who knows? I do think like bots are a big part of this. Like there's a lot of Twitter bots and paid shills that frankly, if you can recognize that there's a bunch of paid shills working on your behalf, maybe it's worth, that's the coins you go for. I don't know. I've kind of gotten over this. I don't want this to turn into a religion. Like that's where I could make some money. And then this is my gold, is my Litecoin, right? So this one I also like, this Koa Kuma. So yeah, here the ICO price was 0.018. Let's see. Would I have been good? Some of these go literally to zero in a day, and some of them actually turn out to be good assets. See, this isn't even, so it's ongoing. Never mind. It ends in 7 hours. Dang. Somebody go buy it. If you have the ability to go buy it just for fun. So maybe we'll check on this one next week. So somebody remind me. Koa, what's it called? Koa Kuma, KKMA. See, I don't even know. See where to buy Game Starter. So I'd have to go. So it might be, again, maybe a demonstration. Let's buy an ICO every week. Should I try this right now? Are you guys bored out of your mind? Do you want to see me buy an ICO? Or should I just end this? Let's take a vote. Apparently there's only a few of you in the chat. So give me a yes or no. Should I try to buy this ICO, or at least attempt to? I don't even know how to do it. I don't know what I have to buy to get into it. I might have to buy a different token to buy a different token. I'll put 1/10 of a Litecoin into it. We'll wait for the votes. Also, do you like that Litecoin song? That's 2 questions at once. You want me to try it, Talks with Noise? What the hell? Let me finish my coffee. It's cold, but. All right. My adventure as a shitcoiner begins. Let me think of the shittiest coins. I don't know that I've ever bought I bought most proof of work. One I had a lot of that just got crushed was Myriad Coin, XMY, which is basically the same. Like Digibyte was a fork of XMY. It was the same thing. 5 algorithms. Oh, dude, I lost so much money in that stupid thing. Too much. Like it would be the equivalent of a lot right now. Not like, it wasn't like 10 Bitcoin or something, but it was significant. All right, let's see what happens here. So I go to Game Starter. Koa Kuma. What? Maybe it's this. IDEO? Here. Okay. Sale ends. Description. Massive. Oh, Jesus. Online role-playing game. What's MM? Come on. All right, so let's see. You guys want to watch it? Is this... what the hell? Why not? This will be kind of fun. Can you guys hear that or no? I think I have to share the audio. Hold on a second. Hold on. You think you should be able to hear it. This is what we're doing. $9 into it. ARPG, alternate reality. And then where am I going to store it? I don't even know where it stays. So I wonder if it's similar to like the other games where you whatever it was. What was that one? X3? I don't know. Whatever. CBT2 is coming. What? All right, so there you go. That's Koa Kuma. Oh, fight in epic battles using specially designed NFT assets. F2P. Investing in a role-playing crypto coin. We're going to the moon. That's right. So if this $8, $9 turns into $90, well, then we're just going to keep rolling it, right? So here, let's see. Let's just see how this goes. I don't even understand this stuff sometimes. Yeah, there's so many of these gaming ones, right? All right. Open to game token stakers only. Uh-oh. All right, the public round. All remaining tokens from the private phase will be up for sale. No limit. You can buy. First come, first serve. Staking game will give you 100% of tokens you buy. Come on. Non-game stakers will receive 90% of tokens bought with a 10% fee deducted in the project token bought. Okay. 10% of fee used by Game Starter to buy up game from the market to burn tokens. Total allocation is 50 grand. So my 10, what'd I say? I said $10. I've already upped it. I've already upped my investment. So I'm going to own 0.02% of all these assets. Okay. Where do I go? Oh, it's an ERC20 token. Where do I buy it? Here, seed round. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they've already maybe secured this. 311,000. Private round, 775. Now I'm getting even less. My $10 is going to be like nothing. So if I were really being serious about this, like I think it would be kind of fun. You'd want to know, who are these people, right? If we're going to dig into this, like what's their history? But literally it doesn't even have like a click on how to buy it. So maybe not. Anybody have any idea where the heck I would click? 1 BUSD equals 55. So I'd have to get a Binance account. I don't have any Binance account. All right. I don't have one of these wallets. What's this one? Wallet Connect. No. Well, disappointment. But maybe next week I'll dig into, here, let's do this. I should end this. This is getting too long, but let's go back to the other ICOs. So I missed this one. Big deal. There's a gazillion of them. These are ongoing, upcoming. All right, it's probably too late to get into ongoing. But that other one I showed you, the hooked, it was like a Binance. I forget what it was. It was called, hang on, because I felt like that might have been important to know what it was. Binance Launchpad. I don't know if that seems to be maybe important to know. Here, let's go into some of these too. Just because that was a good one I showed you. Let me show you the bad ones. VR Jam. So the ICO we just saw was like 0.004. Okay, this one's actually survived. This is pretty much at the ICO price. Not bad. God damn. The Paradox Metaverse. The ICO price was 3 cents. Not bad. It's actually kind of held its own. That's kind of crazy to me because some of these are absolute disasters. You come up here, particularly on like BNB Smart Chain, right? Pangolinu, which is the Pangol, apparently is what started COVID. I don't know if you guys know that. Oh, ERC20 token is an Ethereum. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. The Pango ICO price was 4.5 cents. See, this is a good example. You have no idea what you're getting. So this thing, people bought for 4.5 cents. Oh, that's so awful. And the price is now, oh my God. I mean, that's down that's like 99.999%. Do they have a chart? So some of them you're going to buy. And you're going to be like, oh, what's my, so it didn't even meet the ICO price when it launched, right? Are you guys, am I having issues with connection? It keeps telling me I do. Hang on a second. I think this page is messing me up. All right. Where am I at here? So this guy started out, somebody paid 4.5 cents. They lost 66% of their value the second it launched. It couldn't even launch its ICO price. And all of it did was dump. And now it's worth literally nothing. Like basically nothing. So I guess if you're interested in Pangolinu or you're a believer, go knock yourself out. Now's the time to buy. So this sounds like some medieval empires. What's this? Maybe this is a game. This sounds like a game, right? I think I actually looked at this one too, because this is a few weeks ago. I got in here. I was like, oh, this might be kind of fun. All right, yeah, it's another game. Same concept. There's a land sale. You can buy. Oh, all right. See? So if you're into the game, like I think it'd be cool if these are fun games. If you turn out to actually be interesting games, why the hell not? I've been playing this dumb game lately. This was a Polygon token. What was the ICO? 0.9 of a penny. So this one's actually done pretty well. It's up like 66%, something like that. So maybe that might be the thing to do. Figure out. I'll do some research. Here's a Pangolinu Maxi. Dude, you could have you need a chart. Like one Litecoin equals 5 trillion Pangolinus. So it's a total gamble. But maybe over time you start to understand what are people actually. Crypto pirates. Is this another one that seems like a game? Is an idle game about pirate crews venturing through the expanses of the endless space. All right, again, another gaming one. It's an app. Okay. See, this is an app. This is an old one, so we can't buy this. But maybe we can start to see what do people actually care about. And those graphics are kind of janky as shit. But whatever. Explore deep space. The team. Who's the team? This is always a really bad thing, in my opinion. If you can't find these people for real, like if I go look up this guy's name, he's on LinkedIn or something, like, okay, maybe he's legit and this is just kind of a funny way for them to do it. But sometimes they'll put like everybody's anonymous on there. Partners, this could all be bullshit. Like mountains of bullshit. So just be aware that don't trust anything people put on their own website. Like, they don't even have a game. These are screenshots. At least those other games. I mean, that's janky. This is like, I mean, it's intended to be that like retro look, I think. Oh, here, ready? Here's a teaser. Going. So, remember, all right, who do you think? Nobody cheated and looked this up. Do you think this thing is up or down? From its launch of 1.3. Oh, these graphics. Are you serious? Come on. I mean, this was like computer games back when I was a kid, man. This is like 90s computer games. There's no way. That other one at least looked cool. Crypto Pirates, it's called. Okay. I'm going to bet that this thing is garbage. I'm going to bet this thing went to the toilet because that's a bad one. What? Come on. Show me the markets. Where's it at? It's not even available on a market. God damn it. Ruined it. They have Crypto Pirate Explorers. Oh, the BNB value, $0. Wow. Well, there's transaction fees. So people are no, they're not. People aren't using it. That's a totally worthless project. You could make no money. You can't even sell it if you had it. So literally zero. So if you put any money in that, you'd have no way of redeeming any money out of it. All right. I'm actually kind of enjoying this, but I think I got to go. RE Water, a water ICO. All right. We're going to look up. Hang on. Okay. Sorry. I'm screwing this up. We're supposed to do upcoming. Let's pick an upcoming one. Here's what we'll do. Let's do some research. You guys tell me of the upcoming Sola X. So at least it's an Ethereum. Crypt View. This looks like an actual coin. It's not on another chain, so it might be on its own. Yeah, I agree with you. Talks with noise. Trying to take advantage of the crypto craze. I completely agree. And that's why you got to kind of filter this stuff through. But man, there's some crappy shit. Lunafy. Why would you put Luna in your name after we just watched Terra Luna literally collapse? Reign of Terror. Another one sounds like a game. Rot Coin. The other thing I think would be interesting is to go, okay, KVT, right? Let's look this up. This is how my brain works. Let's see if there's shills for KVT. Who's shilling KVT? They have a lot of crypt views at the bottom. There's Magic Square. Like, what are these? I don't even know what these are. Gen X Analytics, 43,000 followers. Probably, kind of a scammer, this guy. Not many. Say Cosplay Gold? Posplay. What is Posplay? Piece of shit. This guy's all about CryptView, whatever the CryptView is. I have no idea what these things are. All right, we're gonna use. I think CryptView is gonna be a thing. At least it's its own chain. Starts in 2 months. Come on, man. For a nickel. What do? What's CryptView do? So how can you be a CryptView shill? I don't want to sign up. What? So it's just like CoinMarketCap? Why do you need a token? Does anybody understand this at all? We're not doing CryptView. Why would you need a token for this? Connect your wallet. What is the point? Who needs a decentralized token to use CoinMarketCap? All right, maybe it's Sola X. It's got the Solana thing. It's got Saks. It could be construed in some ways. When is this one available? 2 months. I want some action now. Market makers. Okay. We're going to keep an eye on Sola Axe, but there's nothing soon. Okay. This one starts in 2 days. This may be by default. It's going to be the one we do. Yeah, I know the cat. Well, it's funny, Hunter. So Hunter's asking about that KAS, KAS. That was a coin that's in some of these bigger investment funds, actually. I think even who the Galaxy, the Novogratz guy. I've got a friend who's a Novogratz hater. I think I might do a segment with him every week. He doesn't want to be identified, but I might just give him an audio special guest once a week to just rant and go off on Novogratz. If you want to do a special segment like that, you just want to vent, you just hate, maybe you hate Bitcoin maximalists or something, hypothetically speaking, and you want to come in here anonymously and just your audio and just spit vitriol at them for about 30 seconds and do it on a weekly basis, I think that'd be great. That'd be hilarious to me. Okay. We call it like the hate hour, the hateful 8 minutes. We get enough people. We 8 people who are willing to go 1 minute of just spitting their worst venom at their worst enemy. Everybody gets a minute and that's it. And then you're off the air. That'd be fun. Okay. I'm writing that down. I like that idea. You can talk about whatever you want. You can talk about me if you want. That'd actually be funny too. I'd like that. All right, so here's where we're going. Can I buy this one as a question? It's on before the IFO. What's an IFO? All right. Oh my gosh. This might be kind of fun. All right, so I have to create a pancake swap profile. Lock cake in the cake syrup pool to get iCake. You guys following me so far? Prepare more cake to participate in the IFO. During the IFO, while the IFO is live, commit your cake tokens to buy arena tokens. After the IFO, once the IFO completes, you'll be able to claim your arena tokens. Any unspent funds will return back to you. Holy shit. Like if these guys pull off $1.4 million, it's unbelievable, man. And it's only 3.5% of the total supply. So they're going to make what's that, 100 or 1 billion tokens. Jesus Christ. Why are people buying these things at all? I don't even understand. Esports player. Man, I remember gaming tokens, man, early on. Like that. Well, that game, that was the interesting thing about that other one, that cat, whatever it's called, Koamuka or whatever. That was on game credits. And game credits was around back in 2017. I think I owned some game credits at some point. And I see the appeal of it, but for some reason it doesn't want to take off. Organize a full-fledged tournament. All right. Among Us Global Tournament. And the prize is in BNB. Okay. I kind of dig this. See, this to me like serves a bit of a purpose. I'm intrigued. I might put some syrup on my pancakes or whatever it is I have to do. So nobody's registered, it doesn't appear. But it's just they're just probably showing proof of concept here. But man, the economics suck. I mean, I want to own like half the thing. So this isn't even so this is an Axie Infinity tournament. Look, man, gaming tournaments are huge. And there are tournaments, whatever. Do you guys know if you guys are gamers? Do you know these games? Talk some noise, you play games. What is Free Fire? Open image? Come on, bro. Being serious? You don't even have a link to the fucking game? Are these for real? These are upcoming tournaments? What is this called? So this is kind of cool. What's IDR? I don't know what IDR is. Indonesian Real or something like that. Is that what is this for real? They already have tournaments with their brand. I can dig it. And payouts that aren't in their token. Maybe eventually they want to put payouts in their token, but all right. Call of Duty Mobile. Does anybody know these games at all? Have I lost everybody so far? All right, here's what I'm going to do. If you want to contribute to the ICO fund, we will gamble and win together. Okay. So I'll create a Litecoin wallet and you'll have the address. I'll leave it where it is and I will move funds around. You're trusting me. Don't trust me with any significant amount of money. The most I will accept from any one person is 0.1 Litecoin. And we'll do a weekly, what'd you call it? Somebody gave it a name. Yeah, ICO Weekly. Hunter's right. So we'll call it like, I don't know, shitcoin gambling hour or something. And I'll figure out how to buy it. I'll set up whatever wallets I have to do, and we'll go down that road. This might be kind of fun. My whole purpose of this thing is to just have some fun with this. So we're going to get Litecoin. We're going to cram it in there somehow. So, all right. Yeah, I'm in the Esports Players League, ESPL Arena, Amateur Esports Tournament in 2020. Okay, so this has been around a while. Why do they need the coins? What do I get out of the coins? And why on Pancake Swap? Like this feels really fucking scammy, dude. Here's the thing about it. This could just be somebody who created a coin and is like using this ESPL. Let's make sure. Any news about it? All right, I'm gonna continue to do some research. If for some reason there's like you could actually just make a coin and this company isn't even aware you're doing it, steal their branding and create a coin and you're buying nothing. And if you're doing it on Pancake Swap, if this is a legitimate company that's making money, what do they need my $10 for? So, okay, we're going to figure it out. But this will be the plan. We'll buy whatever divided by 4 cents. So if you give me 0.1 Litecoin, $9, you're going to get 225. Yeah, that's my minimum buy-in. You got to give me 1/10 of a Litecoin. I'm not, no offense, I can't do a gazillion purchases. So we'll do that, and then everybody gets 2.25. 225 is how many arena tokens you get. Oh, Chief. Weekly gambles. Yeah, all right. Give away winnings to the Litecoin community. Whoa. Winnings? These are investments, my friend. We'll figure out something. I mean, like literally, if we put in, let's say we collectively put in $100 or something, and it goes like that hooked protocol and goes, I mean, that thing went 50x like day one. So if we do something like that, we end up with like $5,000. Okay, we'll give something to the foundation. But I'd like to, like if I can make, I'm gonna keep some of it, but we'll give some to. What I want to do is I want to start doing some fun shit. I would like to do weekly. This could be a form of a weekly gambling, I guess, right? I don't know. I would love to do raffles and stuff, but there gets to be legalities in there. So, all right, I'll figure it out, and that's what we'll leave it at. I think we're good. I think we got a good week. I'll leave this up. I'll leave that arena up so I know what we're doing. And like I said, I'll put a wallet address in there from Cake, and I'll figure out how to make it happen. And maybe we'll document the transaction and how everything went. So, well, hey, everybody, it was good to have you guys in. I appreciate that you sit here through this and chat with me. The more people that show up and chat, I think the more fun it becomes. yeah, next week I hope to have a guest. I'm going to take off the week of so 2 weeks and in 3 weeks. I think I'm going to be gone. I might be here in 3 weeks. The week of on the 28th, I'm going to be out of town. Yeah, it's like the first weekend of February. I'm playing in I curl, the sport of curling. I'm in a curling tournament, so I probably won't be available. I'll probably be busy that day, but you never know. Maybe I'll be here. So all right. Next week we're buying arena. Keep stacking. Enjoy. I'm gonna do a little outro of this song. You gotta give me some rates on this song because I think that's pretty damn cool. And thank you to Arno for always being a supporter. So all right. Peace.